In a modern age like today, only a few Muslims love, care, and respect their parents. Many Muslim children even abuse their parents, mostly the young people in the big cities. Through social media, they are being influenced by harshness and cruelty to parents shown in many social media platforms. Some youth are full of vices and they are living a life of sin and even crimes. And it seems that they are forgetting one very important command of the Almighty Allah mentioned in the Holy Quran. بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا. Chapter 17, verse 23, Quranul Kareem. And your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him, and that you be dutiful to your parents. That is how really important obedience to parents is. After he mentioned Tawheed, the most important teaching in Islam is Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. After commanding us to worship none but Allah alone, the Almighty Allah ordered us to be obedient to our parents. Such is how greatly important kindness to parents is. But then, unfortunately, many among us do not obey their parents. They do not give importance to their parents. Mostly the young people, those young people who are ignorant in Islam. Some of us even do bad things repeatedly that would offend and hurt repeatedly also the sensitive feelings of our parents. After their endless cares and sacrifices for you, in return, what do you give them but bad words, insults, and screamings, cursing the parents, and even hitting and hurting them physically? Now, are we not aware of the grave warning of another verse in the Holy Quran? فَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا. Chapter 17, verse 23. Say not to them, fight, nor shout at them, but speak unto them a gracious word. You do not have the rights nor the authority to speak harsh words to your parents. When you were a tender baby, they didn't even let flies and mosquitoes and other insects to come near you. That's how they protect you. And now that you are a strong man or woman with your flourishing career, this is what your ungrateful response is? To break their hearts. Where is your sense of gratitude? Among the non-Muslims, the young people believe that it is the obligation of the parents to care for the children, while it is not the responsibility of children to care for their parents. Allahu Akbar. What a corrupted understanding of care to parents. If without your parents' sacrifices, cares, and dedication to you, Could you reach the status that you are now into? Your father spent his most prime strength to give you a better tomorrow. And your mother did the same tirelessly efforts to give you a great and successful future. And now that you have a great career, you just kick your parents away? There are those young people who are so kind to their parents, but when they get married, they follow and obey their wives or husbands to hate their own parents, to kick out their parents from their homes. How many parents could not see the road because their eyes were flooding with tears upon leaving their homes? And how many old men and women are sleeping on pavement in the streets, homeless as they are, because their children kicked them out of their own home? Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah. After all those hard days of sacrifices by your parents to build your career, now that you are flourishing, you kick them out just because your husband or your wife told you so? Don't ever forget this reality, that you can have many wives or husbands throughout your lifetime, but you will never have another mother or another father. We are supposed to make a dua or a prayer and supplication to Allah for our parents. وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا, chapter 17, verse 24, Quranul Karim. And say, my Lord, bestow on them your mercy as they did bring me up when I was young. This should be the kind words coming out from our lips for our parents, not those evil shouts and cursing. Mostly when they get old, they are very sensitive, weak and tired, and they worn out their strength just to build you. They need your care, your dedicated service and attention. The kind of care which is just like what they did to you when you were young. The Quranic verse gives us the reminder of how our parents lovingly cared for us, so that we can also give our best care and affection for them. And if you don't care for your parents, when you get old, your children will also do the same as what you did to your parents. They will also be cruel to you. This is called the cycle of care. If your children see how you love and care for your parents, when you get old, they also do the same to you, the kindness that you gave to your parents. In Islam, we do not have houses for the aged. We do not bring our old people to the institution for the aged. If the kuffar and mushrikun do not care for their old parents because what is important to them is their career, we Muslims, we prioritize our loving care for our parents. Instead of throwing our parents to the home for the aged, we personally care for them because kindness to parents is obligatory in Islam. وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, chapter 4, verse 36, Quranul Karim. Worship none but Allah alone and be dutiful and good to parents. According to the tafsir of some scholars, kindness to parents is obligatory. Disobedience to parents is a major sin. Now, how many children, young or old, men or women, are committing a major sin of harsh disobedience to parents? Don't ever look at your old and weakling parents as obstacles to your career, but rather look at them as your ticket to the paradise, because your dedicated care for your parents is your sure ticket to the salvation of your soul in the hereafter. The only exceptions not to obey the parents are when your parents want you to do something haram, when they want you to do something against Islam, something violating the commands of Allah. But even if they are non-Muslims and harsh to you, still you are obliged to be kind to your parents. وَاخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. Chapter 17, verse 24. And lower unto them the wing of submission and humility through mercy, and say, My Lord, bestow on them your mercy, as they did bring me up when I was young. Chapter 17, verse 24, Quranul Karim. Meaning to say, we give them our humble service and dedicated care, even if they are non-Muslims, so long as what they want us to do is not haram and not against the command of Allah, because the Almighty Allah has more rights upon us to obey Him than our parents when they want us to do what is transgressing the command of Allah. Even if the parents are harsh upon you, still, you ought to be kind to your parents. You always make a dua or a prayer unto Allah that He opens the hearts of your non-Muslim parents unto Islam. This is the very best, the greatest service that you can give to your non-Muslim parents, the prayer for their guidance, so that they become deserving of the salvation of their soul in the hereafter. We should strive harder to make our parents be happy and to enjoy life, mostly when they are old. Don't forget that old people are very sensitive. They get hurt easily, yet they don't tell you if they are hurt of your harsh words. They just say nothing. They just keep themselves quiet. One great scholar in Islam, Shaykhul Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on him, basing on Abu Bakr's statement, said, Whoever makes his parents angry and drop tears is obliged to come back and make them laugh. Source, Gida'ul Albab, Volume 1, page 382. Now, how many men and women of today break the hearts of their old and weakling parents every single day, and they don't care of their parents' wounded feeling? I repeat what I said earlier. How many old parents are leaving their houses with tears, sleeping in the street, and becoming homeless because nobody cares for them? Allahu Akbar. How many old men and women are becoming beggars and painfully begging for food in the street because their children don't care? Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Are we forgetting one hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Ridha Rabbi min ridha al-walidain wa saqatu Rabbi min saqatil walidain. The happiness of the Lord is connected to the happiness of the parents, and the anger of the Lord is connected to the anger of the parents. Kitabul Kabair, page 40. Instead of breaking their hearts, we should be thankful to our parents. And how should we show our gratitude? By way of giving them a paramount importance in our life. Anishkur li wali walidayk, chapter 31, verse 14, Quranul Karim. Give thanks to me, said Almighty Allah. Give thanks to me and to your parents. How do we give thanks to Allah? By way of worshiping Him, by obeying His command, by avoiding His prohibitions. This is how we express our gratitude to Allah. And how do we give thanks to our parents? By way of giving them importance in our life. According to the tafsir of Ibn Abbas radiallahu an concerning this verse, this above mentioned ayah, Anishkur li wali walidayk, give thanks to me and to your parents. Whoever gives thanks to Allah but does not give importance to his parents, his thanks to Allah will not be accepted. Kitabul Kabair, page 40. Meaning to say, no matter how much you worship Allah, if you don't give your parents importance in your life, your acts of worship are rejected by Allah. Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah. Let us narrate to you one story mentioned in the hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Hadith At-Tabarani. There was a man, a dying man, during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. While he was on the agonies of death, he could not pronounce the kalima La ilaha illallah, the key to paradise. The kalima La ilaha illallah, or the word that there is no God worthy to worship except Allah, this is the key to paradise. Whoever is able to pronounce it before the body and soul separate during the last moments in life, dakhala al-jannah, or he entered the paradise. This man was about to die, and they repeatedly told him to pronounce the word La ilaha illallah, but he could not say it. It seemed that his tongue was locked. This incident reached the attention of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he instructed some of his companions to see the dying man. And they had witnessed how this man could not pronounce the word that is a key to paradise. They asked his mother, why is such a case? His mother told them that when the man was young, he was so kind to his mother. But when he got married, he became cruel to his own mother. The Sahaba told her to forgive her son, but she refused to forgive him. Upon knowing this, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam ordered the gathering of firewoods in order to burn the man. Since he would be brought to the hellfire, then it's better to burn him also in this life. But the mother cried, and she said that she already forgiven her son. This is how great the love a mother to her child is. Even if how she hates her son or daughter, still her love for her children is greater than her hate. So the man finally was able to pronounce the word La ilaha illallah, and he died. We must do our very best to respect our parents. If your parents are still alive, serve them and ask for forgiveness for the transgressions you have done against them. Respect them even if they are unjust to you. The hadith is very clear according to Ibn Abbas radiallahu an. Allah opens the two doors of the paradise for every Muslim obedient to his two Muslim parents, waiting for the reward of Allah only. And one door if he has one living parent whom he serves. Furthermore, when a child makes his parents angry, Allah will not be pleased with him until he is forgiven by his parents. He was asked, even if they are not just to their child, he answered, even if they are not just. Our source, Hadith al-Bayhaqi. As a conclusion, it is therefore emphasized in Islam the respect and obedience to parents. The dua or the prayer of a parent for his or her son or daughter is answered by Allah. The prayer of parents for their children is one of the three powerful prayers to be accepted by the Almighty Allah. If the parents pray to Allah for the success of children in this world and the salvation of soul in the hereafter, it could be more than enough for the success and salvation of children. The hadith is very clear. ثلاث دعوات لا ترد دعوة الوالد لولده ودعوة الصائم ودعوة المسافر. There are three dua or three prayers. There are three prayers that shall not be refused by Allah. The prayer of a parent for his son, the prayer of a fasting person, and the prayer of a traveler. Our source, the most authentic hadith, Sahih al-Jami, hadith number 3029. Do you know that when the son or daughter is kind to the parents, their dua for you could be enough for your guidance, protection, good life, good health, good wealth, and a lot more of blessings. And Allah will accept the good deeds of those obedient and kind to their parents, and Allah forgives their sins. أولئك الذين نتقبل عنهم أحسن ما عملوا ونتجاوز عن سيئاتهم. Chapter 46 verse 16 Quran al-Karim. They are those from whom we shall accept the best of their deeds and overlook their evil deeds. The ayah, the verse, is referring to the kindness and obedience of children to their parents. Such is how Allah will reward the good son or the good daughter, to give them the mercy of Allah, to give them the forgiveness of Allah, so that they become deserving to live in the paradise.